I'm Dr. Sheila, former principal of Ayurveda College from Kerala. Have an experience of more than 40 years of teaching as well as practicing. This time I spent some sharing of experiences about Ayurveda for common people, that those who want to know about Ayurveda with a critical and rational thinking and also interpretations too. You know, Ayurveda is an ancient science, traditional health science of India. About 3000 years ago, India had a culture and knowledge about healthcare management, and also that descriptions are also based on that environment and on that culture, and also available knowledge at that time. So the recorded descriptions are in Sanskrit languages. And so Ayurveda, the word itself, is derived from two words. That is, one is Ayus and the other is Veda. Veda means, you may know about Veda. Many types of Vedas are available in the ancient in ancient history of India. That means that knowledge. Veda means knowledge. This knowledge is derived from observations and experiences and interpretations at that time, to that time, and also recorded knowledges. First recorded knowledge is Vedas. So Veda means knowledge only, and Ayus. Ayus means, you know that Ayus is the term is life. So Ayurveda means whatever knowledge that can be available at that time about life is compiled into the form of textbooks and also form of palm leaves, everything that can be preserved to the next generation. So the term Ayurveda means knowledge of life. Knowledge of life also describes about so many things that Ayus itself is also defined. It is defined in respect of time. Time is not static. It is ongoing. That making the present, this moment, into past in future. So it is not a static thing. So Ayurveda also, the life also, that description of life, Ayus also, is defined in such a way that it is always ongoing, and it can be observed from this past. In the present situations, the past can be observed, and also future can be inferred. Inferences of future and observations of the past comprises of today's experiences, and that type of a philosophy is behind this Ayurveda. Eyes also is divided into 4 types of eyes. That is, one is very pleasureful eyes. That means we feel pleasure in our life, whichever things that contribute pleasure in our life and make it pleasureful, that is pleasureful life, that is sukhayus. And At the same time, it can be miserable also. That things that makes it miserable, that can be dukkhayus. And also other type of ayus also described is hidayus, that is compatible to life, and ahidayus, that is incompatible, or coming to social aspect also, which is compatible to the society, and incompatible means antisocial activities also. So life itself can be divided, it can be defined into 4 types of life, that can be miserable and uncompatible, as at the same time it can be pleasureful and compatible too. So whichever types of life is life that is which type of life that is continuing, or to make the misery, to how to make the miserable life into pleasureful life, and also incompatible conditions to compatible conditions. What are the things that we have to do, and what type of living that we have to adopt? Everything is described in such a way that do's and do nots of life, and how it is related to the environments. What are the things that also to be adopted as per the environment? See, life also begins from birth to death and ends at death. At these all levels, life goes through different types of stages, from neonatal period, newborn period, neonatal period, then childhood, adolescence, adult, and then into old age. Every time life is different. Needs are also different. Changes and growth, everything is different. So all these times require special type of care, and special type that need the care that is needed for that stages also. Even intake of food, at the same time, what are the things that we have to do, everything varies. So all these things, as per the old stages, what are the needs, what are the do's of all these stages are described in Ayurveda. And what are the things compatible to life, and what are the things not uncompatible, that is makes the life miserable, that also are described in Ayurveda. So from the 2 words, Ayurveda itself, what are the things that is included in the textbooks, or the content of the science is described in these 2 words itself. From that is a type of presentation that those days had, and this time also we are having those type of presentations, that compressing every knowledge or everything into a small description or small nutshell. So whenever we define this nutshell or split these words into pieces, we get so many aspects of, we can define, or we can go into the depth of Ayurveda, or any subject we can go into the depth by defining or splitting the words into it senses, sensible bifurcations, everything. So bifurcating Ayurveda into 2, that is Ayurs and Veda, that is every knowledge that the lifelong need of the need to make life pleasureful, that is described in Ayurveda. Coming into the content of Ayurveda, broad definition, broad description about Ayurveda. The content is described in such a format that whatever things that you should do in your life, that is to prevent and to make the body healthy and what you think that is healthy and happy, and also without any diseases, prevention of diseases. Preventive aspect is mentioned as Swastha Vrita. Swastha means those who are having healthy mind, body and social aspect. Swastha is defined like that. Healthy mind, body, and that is health is defined as a stage of healthy mind, healthy body, mind and social aspects. These things are also mentioned that in such a way that Swastha Vrita is described like that, that whatever things that you have to do and what type of intake you have to do, you have to take intake of food and drinks and activities, everything you need for the stages of life. That stages of life also differ, that is from the newborn period to toddler period to the end of the life, that is geriatric stage also. All these levels needs different types of growth need, and that can be satisfied by taking of food and also regulating activities. Everything is described in that content, that is Swastha Vrita. And other aspect that is described is Adura Vrita. Adura Vrita means that is diseases and its treatment. Diseases and its treatment means it includes the cause of the disease, how the diseases are manifested, and what are the changes it makes inside the body, and how it can be prevented in all from the first stage or each stages of diseases. How can we interfere with treatment, with medicines, and also with food and drinks, activities, everything. The whole thing is described in Adura Vrita. That is one content of the treatment, one content of the system. And these both systems together makes the content of Ayurveda. I am now going into only the primary details, the clues of Ayurveda, that is primary details, not into the fundamental principles, only the broad division of Ayurveda today. And the divisions and the fundamental principles, everything that can be taken in the next session. Here, the content of Adura Vrita, that is the content of Adura Vrita means the disease treatment also can be divided into tabled in 8 categories. That is for the convenience. It is made into 8 categories that you may know about Ashtanga. These words are so familiar to all those who know or who want to know about Ayurveda should have come across these words. Ashtanga. Ashta means 8. Anga means departments. Anga or that is departments. 8 angas. 8 departments contribute the whole thing of the curative aspects of the disease comes under these 8 departments. At that time, it was 8 departments. In the previous, now it is divided into so many departments. Modifications had done, and bifurcations are done. Everything is there. Coming into the first chronological history of Ayurveda, these 8 angas are: one is general medicine, that is the whole body treatment. That is general medicine, you know about the that is Kaya Chikitsa. Kaya means body, Chikitsa means treatment. So treatment of body, that is not specific, that is physician as a general medical care. Medical divisions are diseases are described from fever, fever to paralysis. Everything is described under these diseases, and the treatment modalities are also prescribed inside it. That is Kaya Chikitsa. That is, we can call it as general medicine. And then Bala Chikitsa is also described. Bala means, it is child. Bala means child, children. So pediatrics are also defined. Why? So this general medicine and pediatrics are different is this young or small children are also have vulnerable to many diseases, and the treatment also varies from adulthood, dosage, and also the care, everything is different. So Bala Chikitsa, that is pediatric care, is also, pediatric treatment is also one of the branches of Ayurveda. Then Graha Chikitsa. Graha Chikitsa, usually we call the Graha for the mental, psychological diseases, that is mental diseases, are categorized in Graha Chikitsa. And also Urdhvanga Chikitsa. Urdhvanga means that the body part above the head, about the neck, about the neck is Urdhvanga, that is ear, nose, throat, and also head diseases, head diseases, migraine, headache, like that diseases of the head also comes under this Shalakya or Urdhvanga diseases. Then Shalya is another branch of the Ayurveda. Many things are outdated now regarding Shalya. Shalya is surgical management. At that time, surgery was managed up to on that level only. So now there are everything has changed due to anesthesia and also fast growing surgical inventories, equipments also, everything had changed. But at that level also there were surgical managements, and also for in that the instruments are also described. Instruments, now we see the instruments, those instruments, modified forms of those instruments are now applying. Actually, the fundamental principles of instruments are same in that era also. And then comes the Damstra. Damstra is another branch, that is toxicology, that is snake bites and bites of poisonous things, and its treatment comes under this branch. Another branch is Jara Vrasha. Jara means geriatric. Jara, it is a natural part of life, that is geriatric period is elderly care, old age care. Now also that old age care comes as a specialities of modern medicine also. Old age care also is a branch of Ayurveda. And the other thing is Vrasha. Vrasha means aphrodisiac, that also sexual desire improvement of the especially it is focused on man. And these are the type of branches, that is division of Ayurveda. A treatment, curative aspect of Ayurveda, that is Adura Vritta, that is the division of the curative aspect, is divided into 8 branches. And specialties were made on that branches. Now that branches have been more defined, and also some branches are separated, and now the general medicine itself separated to Panchakarma is a type of treatment process, that is purificatory methods are described in ancient science, ancient health science. That is a method of purification or modification of the body, body cell structure by eradicating everything that is unwanted things from the cells towards the intestine, and it is brought out through purgatives and some other. These are some procedures are there that comes under panchakarma. That general medicine's part, that treatment part, is also divided like that. And also pediatric care, still it is having pediatric care as that balachikitsa, that is pediatric care, is still many PG post degree courses are there. Psychological mental diseases are also now practicing, and also it is also having its own way of approach with psychotherapy like that. That also included, preliminary knowledge is included in the ancient tests. Ear, nose, throat and also head diseases also now bifurcated as eye, ear, nose, throat. Eye diseases are also netra roga. That also diseases of eyes, ear, nose, throat, everything is also differentiated. And also head diseases of the head also. So on the way of development, on the way of development, it is bifurcating, and also modifications are done. Surgical aspect also, even though the instruments are described there, now there are so many inhibitions because of the nature of the medicines to use after the surgical management also. It comes under modern medicine, modern allopathic medicines, and also some focus areas that focus on anal fistula treatment with the Chara Sutra, that is a type of medicated thread that can be used for instead of the surgery. And also some type of specialities are still practicing, even though the whole thing is not practicing in Kerala. But outside Kerala, they are using modern medicine also. And also with the help of the modern medicine, they are doing surgical management. In outside Kerala means in North India, it is that type of treatment is also is doing. And Vrisha aphrodisiac medicines is now most commonly propagated medicine part in the market, even though unscientifically it is used unscientifically, but it deserves its own attention to concentrate on that area as the need of mankind. And also that area also so many medicines are described that needs more experiments and also more researches also. Coming to the end of today's speech, I focus only to this area, that is Ayurveda is not a mystical or mystery or something that is born from a god towards the mankind. It is not like that. It is the collection of experiences. It is the collection of knowledge that existed in that ancient era. That is a collection only, and that defines how life should be kept pleasureful, and how the misery can be eradicated by types of treatment with not only with plants. It also we can see inside the development inside the book content, we can see so many medicines prescribed at that at that era is not available now, and also so many medicines were incorporated into the text of following those content to the new text also, from plants, animal kingdom, and also from chemical content, that is minerals and metals also incorporated into the system. And that is Ayurveda does not mean it is a herbal medicine. It contains so many things that is described as herbal, animal, and also chemical also. And knowledge is only the knowledge up to that level, that up to that time, and the knowledge is not static, and the knowledge can be incorporated with the rational thinking and also scientific progress of the mankind. That type of observation should be there for the upbringing of this ancient health science to the era, this 21st century of this time. So I also focus on that area only, not in the spiritual level of the Ayurveda. Even though spiritual level of Ayurveda is something that is that was existing at that days, for those who had power and those who had the supremacy of the society, indeed had implication of these knowledges for the benefit of their community and also for the other community also, but the supremacy was there, and so the content itself have some supremacy of that social environment. That also we have to see into the into this when we see into the content of Ayurveda. That also we have to observe, and also the those things in a content of the Ayurveda, that is preventive and curative aspects of Ayurveda. Preventive aspects is now so much important to have more modifications and also needed to be propagated and modified in terms of the living and standards and also the habits of the new generation. So it should be rereaded and it should be remodeled also. Even then, in all these aspects, Ayurveda is an ancient knowledge compilation, and this knowledge compilation is having its own treasure inside the this capsule, and the treasure which is hidden in the capsule have to be explored and have to be propagated and also cross questioned, and also it should be modified and excavated. I think it is excavation should be there to into this treasure part, and also it should be used for the development of or used for the applied aspects to this generation. In this aspect, I'm concluding my this talk by having my wholehearted opening here to have communication with others also. So I am speaking in English, not at all in a good English. I know that if I am speaking in my mother tongue, that is Malayalam, I could have expressed more. Why I am speaking in this English is those who are inspired or those who need to have communication with me can have a communication with this knowledge, but with an open-hearted and rational interpretation of Ayurveda, can have a combined effect in exploration of this ancient treasure which is kept in the capsule, or spirituality um, and what the, that so upper social concepts. Okay. Thank you for this listening, and thank you very much. For see you next time with other aspect that is the basic of Ayurveda. Okay, thank you.